Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Mid Card Mess Podcast. I am your host, not one, not two, but all three faces of Jamal, and this is your wrestling news. We are well in the swing of things on the road to WrestleMania. It is February 8th, 2025. Man, I got some good news, I got some bad news, I got some news, so let's just get on into it. I'm going to talk about the releases after I finish talking about SmackDown, so that way we get the general scope on what's going on in the WWE landscape of things. And also there is other news that happened, like CMLL had their VNS Spectacular. Also, Ricky Starks wins the DEFY championship. He went one-on-one against Kenta. Congratulations to Ricky Stark on winning DEFY's heavyweight championship belt. I'm not going to do the full show there. I'm just going to talk about the Kenta match real quick and the ramifications of Ricky Starks even being a champion in another company type stuff. So it is what it is. It is what it is. When I'm talking about VNS Spectacular, I'm just going to do the results so that way you know what kind of matches did happen. Obviously, you know, most of those matches are going to be 2 out of 3 falls or whatever not. So, you know, it is, you know what it is. Let's get into SmackDown though. So, SmackDown happened. You know, Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair was supposed to arrive to talk about their potential WrestleMania opponents. In this instance, Jey Uso was the first one to emerge, and he walked down the crowd. So, like, you know, he did his whole, it's just me, Uso. Day one, it's just me, Uso. Yo, you already know that the crowd was electric every time that this man, Jey Uso's coming out. Especially now that he's the Royal Rumble winner. Like, every venue, every arena that he's in is just popping off. He's just going crazy right now. Like, there's nobody that can touch Jey Uso's entrance. It's just complete aura when it comes to this man, Jey Uso. And it's been a long time coming, man. Like, you know, never have I thought that, like, you know, one half of the Usos would even be in the position that they are in. Especially when we're talking about Jay. I thought Jimmy would be the one in the spot, let alone like it being Jay. Yeah, man, like, you know, he had a decision to make, and he asked Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, to come out. As you know, Jey Uso has the opportunity to challenge for a World Heavyweight Championship, but which one is the one in question? So he asked Cody Rhodes to come out there with them. As Cody Rhodes came out, he was going to say something about along the lines of like how, like, you know, they're going to be, you know, in a good match, or it would be a good match and everything would be with respect and stuff like that. The Bloodline, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, came out and interrupted them. Fatu basically said Rhodes took the title from his family, and that if anyone was going to regain it, it certainly wouldn't be Jey Uso. Then Jey Uso hit a super kick on Tama Tonga. Fatu then laid them out. Uso hit a super kick on Fatu, and then a tag match was going to be fucking later on. We already could see that shit a mile away. Freaking Cody Rhodes hitting a Cody Cutter at the end and clothesline Fatu out of the ring. Obviously he didn't fall, but, you know, it is what it is. So we already have Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso later on in the night. All right, so the first ramification of the Women's Elimination Chamber qualifying match, we know that Liv Morgan is in that hole already. So the first match was going to be Bianca Belair with Naomi fighting Piper Niven with Chelsea Green. And whoever wins that is going to go into the women's Money in the Bank, women's Elimination Chamber match. At the end of the day, Bianca Belair was able to take out a very, 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 very strong and game Piper Niven. Hits the KOD, showing her strength, and Bianca Belair with the victory. Nick Aldis was talking with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, they might have been moved to SmackDown, so that's going to be interesting to see. Carmelo Hayes interrupted to confront Nick Aldis, and Aldis revealed that he had Carmelo Hayes set up to be an opponent, and it was Akira Tozawa. DIY's Johnny Gargano came out to the ring to cut a promo about retaining the tag titles against the Motor City Machine Guns, but Pretty Deadly basically said that they demanded a shot at the tag team championships. Nick Aldis then came out and then booked Pretty Deadly to face DIY right then and there. DIY was in freaking, like, you know, they wasn't even in wrestling gear. They had to wrestle in regular clothes. If Pretty Deadly won this match, then they would get a title shot eventually, which they ended up doing. And they ended up winning with a roll-up, but, like, it was a cheating roll-up. So, like, he rolled them up, tried to grab the ropes. Johnny Gargano rolled up, I think it was Kit Wilson. He rolled them up, and then he tried to hold the ropes. Elton Prince knocked it off, and then freaking... Now, Kit Wilson ended up being on top with the roll-up, and then he held the ropes, and then they got the win. So eventually they'll get a tag team championship. Miz tried to recruit Andrade in the back, but Andrade said he learned how to beat him and then walked off. Cody Rhodes then walked down the aisle, and Miz basically told them that, like, you know, that him and Cody were like the last of a dying breed type deal. And then he said that, like, you know, he tried to instigate some issues going on between Jey Uso, because when it comes to the WWE Championship, there are no fucking friends. And this could be the lead of Cody Rhodes' Homelander arc. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Drew McIntyre then came out, cut a promo on his match where he said Monday Night Raw was a toxic workplace, and then he joined Friday Night SmackDown to get away, just to have his eyes set on Cody Rhodes and fucking the undisputed WWE Championship. But Big Jim came out and said, no one had taken anything from him, and that he just needed to focus on himself and stop being a crybaby and fucking squander his opportunities and all that stuff like that. Then LA Knight came out and said, that he had no love for Jimmy or freaking Drew McIntyre, and he actually even coined the term Drew McIntyre. So, like, he's like crying like a little baby. And then he said that he was gonna win their triple threat elimination chamber qualifier match. So the elimination chamber qualifier match that already has who's in it? John Cena and CM Punk. So now we're gonna add one more person to that match. Drew McIntyre, Jimmy Uso, and LA Knight. This match ended with a claymore to the back of LA Knight's skull, which at the same time LA Knight was hitting the BFT to Big Jim for Drew McIntyre to get the victory. That was actually the pretty gnarly finish to the match. They even had a couple gnarly spots where there was like a superplex off the top and elbow drop and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, Drew McIntyre is the one with the victory. Damian Priest was then interviewed by Byron Saxton, where he said he was ready to qualify for the chamber, but Braun Strowman interrupted him and told him that, look, my guy, you're facing not only me, but you're also facing Jacob Fatu, and it's not going to be you, it's going to be me. But, like, you know, that match next week on SmackDown, that Damian Priest, Braun Strowman, Jacob Fatu match for an Elimination Chamber qualifier, that's going to go crazy. So watch out for that. Kevin Owens was, crash out Kevin Owens, back up in his car, cutting a promo saying that Sami Zayn was a horrible friend, and that he just watched Cody destroy him on freaking Royal Rumble and vowed to make Sami Zayn pay. So we're probably going to get Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 1-on-1 once and for all, the brawl that ended all or whatever not. Carmelo Hayes did everything he could to defeat Akira Tozawa. It was a foregone conclusion. Tozawa's just looking mad weak here, so you know it's no surprise that he lost here. Charlotte Flair then cut a promo saying that she was scouting the crowd to see whether or not that she wanted to be liked or loved or whatever not. But then Tiffany Stratton came out and she cut an amazing promo on Charlotte saying that she's not trying to be Charlotte Flair. She heard all the comparisons that, you know, oh, she's trying to be the next Charlotte Flair. And Tiffany just basically was like, nah, I'm trying to be the first versus Tiffany Stratton. Fuck the Charlotte Flair shit. I'm Tiffany Stratton. Nia Jax then came out with Candice LeRae and then revealing that Nia Jax doesn't have to freaking do any type of elimination qualifying matches because next week on SmackDown, which is another banger of a match that's going to be on Friday Night SmackDown next week, it's Tiffany Stratton catching the one-on-one fade with Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. Being that Candice LeRae was already out there, Candice LeRae had a one-on-one match with Alexa Bliss to qualify for the Elimination Chamber qualifying match, which Alexa Bliss then did a Sister Abigail DDT for the victory. Byron Saxton then interviewed Piper Niven and the United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green, where Chelsea Green was interrupted by B-Fab and Michin saying that Green's days as the champion were like fucking numbered. Like, you know, they have the eyes on the titles, they have the eyes on the prize. But then Zelina Vega appeared, the newest acquisition of Friday Night SmackDown, and also said that she was interested in getting after Green. The Street Profits had a vignette where Dawkins said that they were tired of every team getting in their business and they wanted to smoke with everybody. So they just out here doing, black excellence shit. I guess I don't know what they're trying to pull, but it's. There's nothing different with the Street Profits except, I don't know. They're going to do the new theme song. They're going to do the theme song that they have in the game and not in the fucking thing. I don't know. I kind of like their theme song in WWE 2K24. The "We want smoke. Hey, we want the smoke. Hey, we want the smoke." It goes more along the lines of what they're trying to do, but, I don't know about this and everything when they party cans and everything way about it. Like that shit is played out. It's old, it's done, it's finished. Pack it up. Leave that shit in 2022 where it belongs. The Motor City Machine Guns watched the promo backstage and said that they were gonna go for the tag team championships, but Legado del Fantasma, Elektra Lopez, Angel, and Berto interrupted them, saying that Los Garza and MGM was going to argue about who's going to get a shot at the tag team championships. But Santos Escobar told them to relax, because next week Los Garza and the Guns are going to have a match, and that match is going to be crazy too. At the end of the night, like I said, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. At the end of this match, Cody Rhodes hits the Crossroads on Tama Tonga, but after the match, Solo Sikoa returned and hit the Samoan Spike on Cody Rhodes and stood tall to end the broadcast. Solo Sikoa is back. Maybe we got this bloodline angle going on, so I don't know what is it going to take, but how these things go. It's the road to WrestleMania. It's a very windy one. Very, very, very windy one. All right, so with SmackDown being over, I have to get into the releases that WWE has done. They normally do a lot of these spring cleanings, and it either elevates or de-escalates somebody's career. The people in question are all, of course, I gotta mention everybody here, what they've done with WWE recently and what they can do in the future. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. So when it pertains to Paul Ellering and the Authors of Pain, they are released. They're gone. They're packed the fuck up. They're out of here. 90-day no compete clause and whatever not. I can see the Authors of Pain going to either an AEW, building that tag division to be a more prominent one, or go to MLW and run roughshod and do something over there. Maybe do some TNA action. I don't know. So that way they could still have some type of capacity with WWE. That would be what my guess is. Paul Ellering could even try to reunite with his daughter who's out in the indies and stuff like that. So, maybe not. So I'm thinking TNA, maybe AEW or something for them, because they're a good tag team. They are former WWE tag team champions. They were the Final Testament for a little bit, and nobody was really jacking the 5-man group, the Final Testament. So it is what it is. Their latest WWE run was nothing. It was nothing. That's it. Like, you know, the niggas that they fought are in another company anyway. The biggest thing was a WrestleMania match with Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and fucking no, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits at WrestleMania. So the next on the docket, as I'm speaking of Bobby Lashley, is Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander, former Cruiserweight champion, former tag team champion with Shelton Benjamin, found part of the Hurt Business, the original version. Yeah, man, it's just absolutely insane that they let Cedric go. The last time I seen Cedric, he was getting smoked on NXT. He got beat up by Ethan Page on NXT. That was the last match that we seen from him. I know that his wife is not wrestling in AEW, but like, you know, he can either go to like Ashe or, you know, do something with his wife. Maybe he might just do some coaching or just like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do at this point. But all I know is that he gets to be himself after he leaves here, and he doesn't have to deal with like a lot of crazy nonsense and stuff like that. I mean, Cedric Alexander is very fucking talented, but we know how black talented wrestlers are fucking treated in WWE, so we're just not going to get into that for now. But I don't know, man. Like, I hope nothing but the best for Cedric Alexander. Now, here's one that fucking kind of blew my lid a little bit. Sonya Deville. Yes, Sonya Deville was released by WWE in the middle of being part of a faction on Monday Night Raw. So PFC, what happens to PFC? What happens to Pure Fusion Collective now that fucking Sonya Deville is gone? Are they taking their shot? Are they fucking like what's happening? What's gonna happen with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark? I don't know, man. Like, you know, Sonya's gonna be fine. Sonya and Mandy Sachs has a bakery company type deal, like a cupcake deal. Yeah, like Sonya Deville could go into acting. Sonya Deville could do a plethora, a lot of things. Like, she could show up at, like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, she could do some New Japan shit. She could do some AEW shit. I don't know, man. Like, you know, she has a plethora of options at her side. She's married with her wife and everything, so it's okay. Like, she'll be fine. With or without WWE, she'll be fine. But, you know, it's just crazy that they let her go, as she was like the main reason that Pure Fusion Collective even exists, type shit. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Here's one that I was really kind of upset about because I don't think that she got a fair shake, and that's Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport has been released by WWE. I knew her well back in Stardom when she was B. Priestley. Yeah, man, like, I don't think that they gave Blair Davenport the fair shake. They didn't give her the fair shake in NXT. I mean, they kind of did, but not quite. Like, you know, she didn't get the traction that most of these NXT people fucking came to and whatever not. I mean, like, I don't even recall her last match. I think one of her last matches was on SmackDown where she suffered a loss. No, she actually won her match on SmackDown, but, you know, it's a missed opportunity. B. Priestley is one of the greater talents that we have in the women's division in wrestling. So I was kind of shocked to see this. And also, going on to, like, you know, some UK talents, Isla Dawn released from the company. Again, one of those things where it's like, what happens to the tag team now that Alba Fire is still here for now? I mean, like, you know, there could be more releases on the way as of the time of this recording type stuff. So, you know, Isla Dawn is out of here. She's packed up. She's gone. Former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion. So I don't know, like, you know, what is it that they want? I don't know what they want out of somebody here. Keeping it international, we got Giovanni Vinci getting also released. I don't know what's his trajectory. Maybe he stops wrestling. Maybe he goes back to Italy and wrestle. Maybe he wrestles in AEW. Maybe he wrestles in TNA. I just hope that his talent doesn't go to waste, because I think he was one of the most talented in Imperium. But they just saw something with Ludwig Kaiser and they saw something with Gunther. So I don't know, man. And this is like, they keep repackaging him and they didn't know what to fucking do with him. I don't understand why Giovanni Vinci, as talented as he is, wasn't like, prominently featured. And last to round the table would be the Good Brothers, Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Now, talk about guys that's going to be just fine. I like the Good Brothers. I'm a Bullet Club guy all the way through and through. So Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows being in the company was great. I'm kind of upset that Karl Anderson is going to get released because they'll never have the AJ Styles, Karl Anderson, Tama Tonga, or even like Finn Balor, Karl Anderson, Tama Tonga, 3 of the original members of Bullet Club in the company at the same time. Like, that would have been sick to see them in some type of capacity together. But as you know, Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows is getting up there in age. Not that age matters in wrestling, but yeah, man, like, nobody was really jacking them without AJ Styles, so I could see why. The Good Brothers are going to be just fine. They can go to TNA and do some more business. They can go to AEW, do some more business. They can go MLW and do some business. But, that's going to round out the releases. So this mass release, it can only just be getting started. I don't know how deep that the company is going to go with these releases. But, that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. Yeah, so that's it for the WWE releases. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be talking about CMLL Viernes Espectacular. I'm just going to talk about the results, so that way the results are understood. All these were 2 out of 3 falls, except for one match, which was Infortano and Olam defeated Oro Jr. and Retro. The 2 out of 3 falls matches is going to be the next matches on the list. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 out of 3 falls match, and that's just the gist of it. So the first one was Vegas, Polvora, and Raider defeated Los excuse me, Los Ducles Atrapa Sueños, so they got fucking defeated. La Cantina beat freaking Persephone, which was crazy to me that Persephone even lost this match. I'm hype on Persephone, but she keeps losing matches, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to be reserved on this. Volador Jr. and Zankarin Jr. defeated Volador Jr., Zankarin Jr., and El Valiente defeated Templaro, Star Jr., and Esfinge in 2 out of 3 falls. And then Mystico, Atlantis, and Titan defeated Barbaro Caverno, Sobero Jr., and Hechicero with the 2 out of 3 falls. And then they also had a regular match with Atlantis and Blue Panther, which ended in a time limit draw. So that's kind of one of the rare entities in Lucha Libre where they fucking end in a draw. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the wrestling roundup. Oh, as I mentioned earlier, Ricky Starks defeated Kenta in a 1-on-1 match for the DEFY championship. Ricky Starks is now your DEFY champion. I don't know how that relates in terms with AEW going forward, but I just saw Ricky Starks a couple weeks ago at the House of Glory Final Warning, so he's ready to wrestle, he's ready to defend and retain and everything of that nature. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for me. Don't forget to watch MLW Super Fight tonight at 9 p.m. on YouTube for free. Got Matt Riddle and Alex Kane and freaking Kojima. You got Kojima, Alex Kane, and Matt Riddle for the MLW Championship. And then who knows what Contra is going to do, so you got to watch out for Contra. And Filthy Tom Lawler is going to go wrestle as well. So I implore you guys, if you want to watch some good pro wrestling tonight, YouTube is the way to go. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Go ahead, peep it out, MLW Super Fight. So that's going to be it for me. 3 Faces of Jamal, you already know, and I'll see you guys on the next one. So before I go, please, for everyone that's listening, please like, share, subscribe, listen to it on YouTube. listen to it on the SoundCloud. I appreciate and am very grateful for all of you that do follow and listen to the Midcard Mess podcast. I appreciate you all. So I will see you guys on the next one. And yeah, peace.